Massive existential crisis, huh? Also, we are live.
You saw the shit I went through.
Oh, we're live? Okay. I gotta get the message. Where is it at? Did you make it yet?
I haven't made posts yet, no. I want to
Okay,
do
cool.
a quick
Hello.
check on Twitch.
Live.
Howdy, howdy.
Hello.
Yeah, sorry, ladies and gentlemen, we are still in the middle of fixing the technical stuff.
Yep.
Oh, I
Also,
turned it to the wrong.
on
I left it on
TikTok,
the wrong screen.
I
Are you
saw.
kidding me? Sorry.
I saw these like 3D printed horns that like attach to your headphone things. They're super cool. They had a bunch of different styles.
Okay, let's make some alerts.
My thing is, I think someone in the neighborhood might have just crashed their car.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
yikes. In my neighborhood, it's just mailboxes getting destroyed. Left, right, center.
Are they all
Happens
stone?
all the time.
Are they all stone mailboxes? Like because that's just if you get one of those, they will be hit. I don't care if
Yeah.
you like live a mile off the road; it will be hit by someone.
Ours isn't a stone one. The one that was most recently hit is a stone one. It was it's like destroyed
Yeah.
all over the front yard. Mine's been hit like 3 or 4 times since I've lived here. Our neighbors was recently hit too, and their mailbox was in our yard by the end of it. And our yards are really big, so it's impressive. They hit the thing hard, but nobody ever stops. It's so rude.
Of course not.
I
Is anyone else as disappointed as I was at the lack of trinket in the CR animated thing?
Yeah, they
Yeah,
only
true.
used them in what, like 4 scenes?
Yeah. Because I don't remember in the show, did he not come to Whitestone?
Oh, he did. He ate a
I'm not caught
vampire.
up.
Oh no, not in the show. In the session, he did.
Yeah, that's what I mean in the actual show, in the
Ah.
actual D&D stream. I couldn't remember.
Yeah, as far as I remember, he had gone.
I even forgot about that show. I need to write that down somewhere. I need to watch it.
It's so good.
Watch Vox Machina.
Matt recently brought in the new campaign a character from first campaign. I'm not going to spoil who it is, but it's a great moment.
I've been a little spoiled about it, and I haven't even caught up yet.
Oh, and I also have to freaking catch up on the stream. Ooh, I'm so behind.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with doing reading the recap stuff. I do it if I get like a couple of episodes behind, because trying to pump in 16 hours of
Yeah, I mean, I
All the
can watch it
streams
at 2
are-
times speed and listen.
Excuse me for a moment while I add my voice to the mix. I think the audio is pretty dang good. So,
Where's this thing? It looks good, Kale.
It looks good, Kale. I love it.
I didn't have any idea what to say, so I went with your idea.
Tweet that. It's a good one.
Alright, close that. Yeah, sorry, it's been a lot of technical difficulties. And for reference, if anyone in chat or anyone in stream could give me any insights on audio, I would be grateful. Because, like I said, technical difficulties, I had to adjust a lot. And I want to make sure it's
Your
good.
volume is fine on stream, and mine will be coming through in a moment.
Mm-hmm. More feedback, the better.
More feedback, the better.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, on stream, mine's just a little bit quiet, but I don't think it's going to be a major issue unless things get like really out of hand with the music, but I doubt it. Everyone else seems pretty level.
Yeah, yours was a little bit low. I couldn't figure out how to get it any higher. Like, I have you maxed out at 200%. And I think it might be my computer that's the issue and not you. I have to go in and check a whole lot of stuff.
Just for the hell of it, I'm turning my input up 5%. We'll see if that makes a difference.
Okay. Most important thing is that you don't go into the red.
Okay, on stream, it's about equal with yours now.
Okay, cool. All right. Yeah, sorry about this. Still making sure technical stuff is fixed, because all I have to make sure it's right is record and listen, and that takes forever. But so that's, we're all, I don't know. I should probably be doing more. Wow, is it really 7:49? Oh my god. We are so late.
We a little late.
Huh?
Just a wee bit.
Oh god.
It's all right.
I'm sorry, guys.
Rough day.
That's okay. I was planning on killing you guys in 4 hours. I can kill you guys in 3. That's fine.
Yeah, you can do it quicker. It's called a challenge, but not too much.
Not too much.
Yeah, I'm gonna be so easy to kill. That's my 15 AC.
Hey, you fought off that vine by yourself pretty well.
Yeah, with an 18 AC and resistance to poison.
While they were all going after Kale.
Yeah. And then Shauna.
Yeah, they had it out for my family, apparently.
Yeah.
Luckily, you have a druid who is heavy in healing and 2 people who could probably beat the crap out of some vines.
Oh, and then we also have that one guy. Assuming he doesn't betray us.
Yeah.
Ollie?
I didn't take any notes except for the Kids Bob in poetry version, which I still haven't watched either of those.
Man, it's been a week since I posted in this one. Uh-oh. And this one updates automatically. Alright, I'm done with my Discord alerts. I just have Facebook and Twitter to go.
Man, did you say you were going to move your stream to YouTube?
No, the D&D stream is going to be stay on Twitch. What I'm thinking of doing is moving moving to a format where I upload videos to YouTube rather than streaming games.
Oh, cool.
Mainly because, I don't really get a lot of viewers now, anyways. But also, if I do that, I'll be able to set my own schedule rather than, scheduling, having to take a.
And just record when you want.
Yeah, I got some advice from a friend who is more used to streaming than I am, and stuff like that. And he said I should probably take some time to do both at the same time, like take 2 days of the week to record for a few hours, upload that, and just see how much better I like that while continuing my stream.
Sounds like a good plan.
Diversify.
Yeah.
Will your videos be like edited videos or just like
Yeah,
like
more
for streaming kind of?
I don't really edit the videos that I upload to Twitch, mainly because I kind of like to keep it all in there. But it will be like one of the biggest issues I feel like I have with the streaming the games that I play is like how much running around there is in it and battling enemies that I've already battled for like 20 other times. So content, I don't have much to say with it anymore. With YouTube videos, I can edit that out. Unless, something fun happens.
Makes sense.
That's why you gotta move to those horror streams, horror game shows, wherever they are, like Outlast or whatever.
Yeah. I did have fun with BioShock, which scared the shit out of me the first few sessions.
There's very little, unless you're like trying to find everything. There's very little in between in BioShock.
Yeah.
Session 24.
Yeah,
Wow.
I know, right? Session 24.
I'm surprised. For last session, I actually managed to fill an entire page with my notes.
You guys take notes?
That's my thought. What?
Well, I do, but I'm also the timekeeper, so I've got to take some notes.
You have to
True.
take notes.
I greatly appreciate you, Zangetsu, because
I'm sorry, I do try.
I'm not taking notes for character reasons,
In the
which
beginning,
is actually true.
in the beginning, I tried taking notes, but it's just I can't really keep up with them.
I'm great at doing it as a player, but that's because I can have in between time when other people are role playing. Or unfortunately, I role play everyone that's not you, so it's kind of hard to sit
Yeah,
there
the
and take notes.
DM notes is hard.
Mm,
I heavily agree on that. I cannot take notes in my own game for the life of me. I've considered like just starting recording them for myself to know
Yeah.
what's going on.
Yeah, just so you know.
No, I just do the thing where like if I don't remember it and my players don't remember it, it's just gonna be the way I say it.
Well,
You have no idea how many characters I have named Ralph because of that. Like 7 characters named Ralph.
There's a great video on that where the person's talking about it's like, okay, this is the 8th Gary we've come across, and they're like, DM's like, what are you talking about? Like, this is a conspiracy at this point.
it's a very common
Great cult of
name.
Gary, yeah.
They gotta all be related too.
They're all related, or they're all part of an organization, and they're all going to take over the world with all
They're
their Garys.
Garys.
I'm just imagining that Gary isn't actually a name; it's actually a race that all go by the same
It's
name.
Garys.
Yeah.
they don't understand the concept of names.
No,
They're like, we're
They're
Gary.
bold. I've
So-
wanted to play. I've had a Furbolg character. I wanted to make him a Golden Grinner from the Critical Role world, and I didn't want him to have a name. And people just call him whatever they call him. He's just like, "Yep, sure, sure." No name, nope.
No.
All right.
And in his name field on like the digital thing, I just have an asterisk.
I'm done with all my alerts, my notifications and stuff. One thing I need to say, Violet, Brain.
Anna. Violet is.
V is the name that I
Violet's
was looking
dead.
for.
Violet is dead.
Yeah. V had some stuff to do, so she wasn't able to make it at the moment. She may be able to jump in later, if she wants to, if she's feeling up to it, But at the moment, where it's just us 4 playing, plus our DM, our disaster tour guide.
Yep.
All right. I'm ready to go whenever you guys are.
I just have one very quick question. Is anyone specifically going to be carrying the battle axe or the spear that we had found in the
I was carrying
break
it
room?
since it didn't seem like anyone needed it, but like if anyone else wants it, I don't mind relinquishing them since they're not really
that was
my
more
kind of
just a
weapon.
question on my own end to make sure that it's accounted for.
Yeah. That's in my
Torque
inventory.
isn't exactly
The note
a
keeper
weapons
has
barbarian.
to know.
I legit added an actual battle axe and spear into my inventory. And I believe.
Oh man, I forgot you got that weird. I forgot about that until just now.
Yeah.
I had that image burned in my brain of you licking it.
Okay.
That
Torque
was
put many things in his mouth last session.
it was an amazing stream.
I want to change the name to the name of the stream now to Torque puts many things in his mouth. If we were ready to go.
Episode 24. What else goes in the lizard's mouth?
Are we ready to go?
Yes, yes,
Yep.
we are.
All right, let me just this, and then turn off my camera for a moment. And in OBS, DM Zoom. There we go.
All right. So, last we left off, you guys were recovering from a attack from a bunch of assassin vines. You guys were trying to get a long rest in. Some of you sleeping. Some of you just passively staring into the distance, getting your rest in how you can. You guys then
Gotta be creepy.
yeah. You guys did your patrols. Some of you heard some strange noises from a door, but decided not to do anything with it after the box that you guys saw in the room seemed to have moved. So you guys decided just to let it go for now. Then Shauna decided to go investigate on her watch, and so she went up and found a closed room that she had to break into, and inside seemed to be some sort of captured dwarf. Did not look like in the best shape. She had a bit of a confusing interaction with her brother that inevitably got the guy released. He introduced himself as Bali, and that he was a part of a group of adventurers from... I gotta pull up my own map here, because my brain did not work so well.
Charades. The best game for D&D online without cameras.
From Flint Keep to the west at the end of the peninsula. And they were sent here because of some of the strange rumors that they had been hearing, and some of the also strange monstrosities that had been noted coming from this direction, and they were sent to investigate. Him and his group came here, delved into this cliffside village, and found nothing but horror and death. He was inevitably separated from his group and was brought here, tortured, and seemingly left for dead. He hadn't eaten in a while, looked really worse for wear, but you guys kind of took him in, helped him out, fed him, healed him, gave him some time to rest, and he said that what they had discovered also is that there seems to be a slab, some sort of artifact here that is allowing these abominable creatures through into this world, and that it needs to be stopped, it needs to be closed, it needs to be destroyed. And he's asked if you guys are all willing to help him in this, and you guys seemed on it. And then you guys started traveling down further into the cliffside city, and you guys got attacked by a black ooze that tried to eat Rhett.
Fucked me up.
Who is their armor is currently getting somewhat repaired by Shioran.
I'm just trying to keep it together to make sure it doesn't stay.
But yeah, that's where we're at.
Tumbling off.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, one reminders. Retribution did mention the artifact before Molly told you guys what it looked like. Just, so you guys remember that. And also, you can now visibly see like a big ass scar on their neck.
Yep.
It basically looks like they got decapitated at some point. But usually it's covered. Acid, bro. Reveal secrets.
You guys are in a long hallway, a long dark hallway at this point, with only whatever light sources you guys have on you and your own dark vision to see. The statue to the left, where the black pudding was kind of stationarily attached onto, is there, pretty much stripped of most of its detail, pretty much bare stone at this point. On the opposite side of this hallway, where you guys are at, is a large double door that you guys haven't investigated yet, but it does sit there closed at the moment. And then the hallway continues the opposite way you guys came, into darkness.
I was so confused because I messed up. I forgot to turn my camera back on, and I'm like, why am I in Kaylin's spot?
You're like, all this work I did for nothing.
Oh, is that how you solved that? You in the corner by turning your own camera?
Yeah.
On? Gotcha.
Like I said, I wasn't there out of vanity.
Everyone must look at me.
Hold on.
Yes, because what I see when I look at you, Ant, is narcissism.
Yep, that's it. Okay, that's very creepy.
I'm sorry.
You looked into the depths of my soul. And you didn't like what you saw.
I'm so sorry that I did.
It horrified you.
I'm actually not sorry. I don't know why I said that. Okay. So,
Oh yeah, just a note. We've been at this now for, granted, not this campaign. It's been a while, but we've been at this together for almost a year now.
That's true, actually. Holy crap.
Look at that. Over nearly 52 weeks, we've managed 24 sessions.
That's
Yeah,
more than
boy.
half. That's less than half.
That's not even half.
We're
Math-
doing pretty well. We're doing pretty well.
Math
We've
is
done
not
a
my
solid
strong suit.
40%.
We had to take a break
We're
for a
getting there,
while.
folks.
You
We're
know,
getting
and
there.
half of us died.
Oh yeah, the COVID thing. Yeah.
Hey man, you ever learn how to drive stick? It takes a while. There's a learning curve. We'll get our steps in. We'll be good.
Out of curiosity, who knows how to drive stick here?
Technically.
If pressed, I could.
Technically, I do know how. It doesn't mean I can.
All right.
I've ridden a manual four-wheeler before.
We immediately ADD'd.
But you said this is,
Alright.
we're currently in like a long-ish looking hallway, right?
Yep, hallway is about 15 feet wide. Same tarnished marble look to the walls, ceilings, and floor. And it's tarnished by time and elements that have come through this way. But besides that, it's all pretty well put together. There's not like a lot of cracks or anything, just a lot of wear. But the door to your right, what you do see when you look at it, large double door made out of wood with metal framing. It has a large amount of scratch marks and dents, and it looks like something tried to get in here, or some things tried to get in that door, and seemingly failed. But it looks really screwed up.
If Torque walks up to it and like compares his claw marks to the door, are they similar or fairly different?
There's no one size. Some are bigger, some are smaller.
If he unsheathes his new tentacle and looks at that claw, is it kind of similar to a few of them?
Too hard to differentiate. There's a lot of claw marks, hash marked all over the door frame, so it's a little hard to differentiate what maybe was 2, 3, 4 claws or not.
Okay, good to know.
Well, should we go through the door?
Can I just say that I actually really love the fact that this guy's beard comes out of his frame. That was a nice touch there. So you said it was beat up. Sorry, I was doing a little OBS thing and not fully paying attention.
Super beat up door to your right. Double door probably stands about close to 10 feet tall. It's a pretty big door. Double wood with metal framing, and it's chipped in places. There is one part where you may be able to see through to the other side, but you're not really sure. It's
Yeah,
it's a
that's what I
small
was
little
about to ask,
sliver.
if it was dented in enough to look through.
It's a small little sliver of part of the door that's been chipped away, but that's about all you can.
Could I take a look through that?
Make a perception check.
Yay, first roll of the night. And it's not bad, but not great. 14.
14. You bring your eye to it. You try to see through the other side. It's really dark. It just looks like black on the other side. Unfortunately,
Even with my dark vision? Wow.
Yeah, and you're not really sure what it is. It doesn't seem like magical darkness. It just seems like there's nothing there. It just seems like black on the other side. Make an intelligence check.
That's not good. I just tossed that. I have dice on the floor now. Okay, much better. That's 17.
You imagine probably why you can't see on the other side is probably something blocking on the other side of the door. Or something solid against the door.
I can't really see anything if I look through here. I think something might be blocking it.
You think they barricaded it?
Possibly.
Quick question. Torque looks to further down the hall. Is Rhett still walking away?
Yes. Just continued walking. Like nothing happened.
He'll tap Shioran on the shoulder and point towards Rhett still walking away.
Rhett gets a message in their head from Merrick. It's like, we're investigating something. Maybe you don't want to go too far away.
Yeah, I'll just stop. And then I'll take inventory of what's messed up on my armor and stuff while they're doing that.
Yeah, you kind of look it over, and it seems most of the metal has held up against the acidic nature of whatever that creature was made out of. But what seems to have taken the most damage is the cloth and leather parts of the armor. So where the metal's fine, it's sitting at an odd angle and not really like fitting. You have to kind of like shift it over your shoulder every once in a while, so it's not fitting as well. So it wouldn't be too hard to get completely fixed, but it will take a little bit of time.
I just remembered there was something I wanted to do with Retribution, but now I'm over here, so... I guess I'll do
I
that
have a
later.
blanket in my backpack. I'm just going to like kind of situate it just so it's like more comfortable on my person.
Alright.
So the metal isn't just like straight up sitting on me.
Yeah.
What was his name? Bali?
Yeah.
Okay. Bali, do you think maybe one of your friends might have tried to hide in here or something?
Kind of looks at the door a little bit, looks it over. I don't know. I don't remember coming through this way, unfortunately. I mean, it's possible, but like puts his ear to the door. I don't hear anything. I don't know. This place is damaged, and he kind of runs his finger through along some of the scratch marks. This looks like this was done a while ago.
Right.
Not earlier on than even my team was here.
I could try to force it out. Maybe it's like a shelf or something.
Well, that can help.
Quick question, just for my own information. Polly doesn't seem to have any sort of like tattoos or markings along his like torso or anything, does he?
He has some tattoos on his arms. but none on his chest. No.
Do we want to try and get in here, or do we want to just continue on?
Someone locked it up for a reason.
Mhm.
Yeah. I think I'd rather know what's in front of me than what's behind me.
It seems to me like someone
Should
was hiding from
use-
something.
Axe.
Yeah, you know, an axe would be a good solution to that.
Shiorn produces the axe.
I grab the axe and nod, and I guess I'm going to, with everyone's blessing, I'm gonna go and try to get out what's behind this door.
All right. Just make a athletics check for me, Kale.
Okay. That is a 16.
16. Yeah. You're used to manual labor at this point, so you take up the axe and you just reach back. And as you get going into the wood, the starts splintering in parts. It's a thick door, and you realize as you are going at it, you are making some headway, but it's gonna take a while to get all the way through the door. You want to keep going, or does anyone else want to try something?
Tor can get in on that. Why not?
You're both just gonna start hacking away at the door. All right. Give me an athletics check from Torque as well.
Can I cast like frostbite on the hinges or something to make them a little brittle? Actually, it says creatures, doesn't it? One
I mean,
creature.
I would
yeah.
allow it. No, I would allow it on an object. I mean, it's not
Okay.
that
Yeah.
restricted. It's just varied on how cold you can get it. Like, metal can get pretty cold before it gets brittle. You'd need like nitroglycerin type of
Right. True.
levels to truly brittleize metal.
Pretty baller. Natural 18 on the die plus athletics. You said.
Yeah.
So that is a 24 total.
Yeah. As Kale is coming in, and Torg all comes and just makes these huge like splinters flying everywhere. Kale is oh shit. Pull his head away for a second. Kind of moves over a little bit, but you both work at it, and it's not quiet. It's loud thunks that are just echoing down the hallways. But about I'd say about 5 minutes of going at this, you finally kind of both step away, sweating. It's a lot of work going at this, but there is a nice big hole that you guys both grab and kind of pull out, and there's probably about a head-sized chunk of the door finally pulled out. And you can see on the other side that there is some sort of makeshift barricade. You can't tell exactly what it is. It just looks like more wood of some sort of structure on the other side of the door. It's about at head height.
Right. Would like an octopus maybe be able to squeeze through and get in somehow?
It's pretty flush to the door.
Okay.
I'm gonna take the axe and like kind of take the handle and try to jam it and maybe try to push over what's barricading it.
Sure. Make an athletics check for me.
Can I like push at it with him to get an advantage?
Sure.
Okay, good. Thank you. Okay, that is a
I'm gonna hand
18.
Torque the spear to have him help.
Say 18.
Yeah.
You both push at it. Ugh! And it's not budging from that. Unfortunately, that leverage you guys have, it's not budging. Bali kind of steps up and he's like, "We could all just try to push the door."
All right, let's do it.
All right. I need everybody's who is helping. I need everybody's strength score, please.
15 from Kale.
14 from Shioran. But I'm gonna be like at the end. The
That's fine.
small
I'll
one, the
count
5'1" helping push.
Once I see everybody go push a door, I'll go help.
What's your strength score?
It's a math. 23.
Your strength score?
Oh, sorry. I rolled. It's a 20. My
Okay.
strength is a 20.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, Dark 16.
Yep. Oh, 16, not 15?
Yeah, 16
Oh.
for Dark.
Oh, sorry. I thought I remember I got Kale's first. So, all right, and then Bollies. All right, you guys made the required by 1.
Nice.
You guys all start pushing. And at first, you don't think it's going at all, but then there is a slow, and one of the doors starts pushing in. You all grinding your heels, start really pushing against it, and suddenly there is a give as the door kind of shifts in, and you hear just a loud from inside the room a little bit. The door doesn't open. It catches about probably a tiny person's body width in, and then is caught on something that's still there, and you can kind of like peek in a bit. You can see whatever massive pile that they piled up all the way to the top of this door has been pushed slightly forward and has just toppled on itself Jenga style into the room, and it looks like it is just tables, shelves, just different wooden structures, other metal structures as well, that have all just been piled against this door. And you guys were able to push it enough that part of the top tumbled down, and you guys were able to get it forward just a little bit, but there's still only like, I'd say, yeah,
When you say
tiny person.
When you
Right,
say
Sean,
tiny
you're up.
person, would 5 feet be too tall?
Shorn without her armor, and that still would be a squeeze.
Mm.
Oh, I meant octopus Shioran.
Yeah, I'm going to.
That would work too.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and wild shape.
Looking at Shauna, would she fit?
I'm gonna see if she put down
Tall,
her
but she might be
think she was
very
around-
thin.
I think she was around the same size as Kale.
She's like 6 foot at least, she
Yeah.
said.
But she's
So even if she's small for 6 feet, she's still gonna be pretty big,
yeah, she's
just because
wide,
of
but-
how tall she is.
yeah.
She's taller than me.
All right, so
I'll
you're
just make her
wild shaping
rogue
into
monk, probably a little bit of a contortionist.
You're wild shaping into what, Sheeran?
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do the octopus.
All right.
That way I can
so-
squeeze through things I need to.
And someone help her up into the area.
Yeah, I used the axe this stabber.
Just shank.
Not,
Let me
or
just-
pick her up gently and
Yeah, I was-
place her through there.
Toss her into the air.
I can-
Fly.
I can stick on the walls.
So you pick up the Octioran, and you
She octin.
and you put her against the gap, and she's able to kind of wrap the tentacles around and pull herself through to the other side. You quickly drop onto kind of an angled piece of some sort of like table or bookshelf, and you quickly grip yourself, look around. Does the octopus have dark vision?
I was literally just thinking about that.
If it doesn't, I will shine my light through.
It,
The
yes,
lantern,
it does. 30 feet.
Yeah. Okay.
And a passive
Um,
perception of 16. Nice.
Red still puts in their lantern to give you some light. What you see in front of you is a large, like what looks to be like a grand hall. Large pillars stretch up towards the ceiling of this kind of 30 to 40 foot room, and long tables are stretched out to the end. These tables are probably a good 40, 50 feet long, with benches segmented along them. A lot of the tables look to be in disrepair. Some of them have been taken apart and used as part of this barricade, it seems. And some of them are tipped over. There is the giant pile of the barricade that has crashed into the room, and a number of the wooden pieces that were a part of it, you can see were starting to kind of deteriorate away, which is probably why you were able to push it open as you did. And the just wood kind of scattered everywhere. What you also see in here, unfortunately, is a large amount of bodies. You quickly realize, at first they just look like lumps of something like cloth or whatever, but you realize quickly that they are long ago deteriorated bodies of humanoids of some kind. You can't quite tell from where you're at. And they seem to be scattered around in groups all around the room, in kind of huddled masses. And as we can see from here, you can't quite see in detail what's at the far end of the grand hall.
So the octopus, upon seeing this, is going to kind of take on a bit of a blue color. I guess it was already blue, so let's go with...
you a cuttlefish?
Huh?
I'm gonna say you a cuttlefish?
No, octopi can actually do that too. There's actually the underwater camouflage ability in the sheet, but like...
There you
go. It's already blue, so something else that sounds like a sad color for something that's already blue.
Dark blue.
Sure. Lighter blue, I guess, would be better. Actually, it's hard to tell. Either way.
Anyway.
It's dark, and you're alone.
So, like, is there anything of interest in this room other than, like, the bodies?
That's what you see, You have to move further in to investigate any more.
Right. I'm going to go over and go over to the bodies, but I'm, like, going to be stealthy about it.
You are going to be stealthy about it?
Yeah.
Okay, roll the stealth for me.
Octopus has +5 to stealth. So that's a 23.
Yeah. You guys quickly lose sight of Octopus Yorn, and she kind of slinks into the room. Move over to the closest pile of bodies, and it looks to be, from when you get closer to it, looks to be two warriors of some kind. Old-looking armor. One has a blade by their side. The other one a large great axe. Both weapons they're covered in dust, and they look to be well used. You can see stains on both of them. Not sure how old they are, but old. You look up at the bodies, and they're just two, what seems to be warriors, kind of slumped against each other. Can't tell much past that they had pointed ears from what's left of their deteriorated bodies. The skin is sunken and pulled against the bones. You can also see that they did have some pretty large canines and lower teeth as well. And
how tall are they?
Hard to tell, but they look like they were probably a decent height.
Okay,
probably
so
over close to the higher ends of 5 feet to maybe in the 6 feet range, possibly. But they're both sitting and kind of slumped, so it's kind of hard to tell.
All right, and the armor versus the. Actually, would I be able to tell how long they've been like this? Been dead?
Make an investigation check for me.
Does the octopus have a better? It does not. 16?
easily more than a few decades,
Mm.
but past that, there's no way to really tell accurately. But enough time that the bodies have kind of rotted away, but are old enough that they've kind of stopped deteriorating. What's left is what's left. And this room seems to have been pretty well sealed, and so it's hard to tell, unfortunately. But definitely very old. They've been here for a very long time.
So these two are soldiers. Like, what are the other bodies? Are they all soldiers, or?
You look over at a couple of the other kind of huddled humanoid bodies near close, and you can see that the ones closest to the door seem to be similar. You can kind of see the small glint of armor on most of them as you look around, but you do see further back there are more bits of huddled bodies, and those you're not really sure. You can't really quite see very well with only 30 feet, but you don't really see too much armor on them. It seems warriors were up front.
Right, so what I can gather, if I understand this correctly, is the warriors were set to protect some civilians in this room. Or maybe, well, maybe royalty or something. I don't know who actually lived here, but my guess is they basically, I don't know why I'm saying this because, no one else can hear me, but my guess is that they basically starved to death in this room trying to wait out whatever was out there.
What would you like to do?
I don't know if I want to desecrate this tomb and take some weapons or not. I'm thinking with Shioran's morality, she probably would not want to do that. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and head on out and through the hole.
Okay. So I'd say probably about 4 or 5 minutes has passed before you guys see a little form of Shioran crawl her way back out of the door.
Okay. I'm also gonna point a tentacle at Kale and then point to where the mouth looks like it would be on Shioran.
2. The raids. Round 2.
All right, Kelly, you take that how you will. Pointed at you, pointed at her mouth.
Okay.
Side note, while Shioran was in there, Tork is just gonna be awkwardly closely examining Bali.
He's just kind of giving you a side eye. He's like, "Can I help you, big man?"
Interesting markings. What mean?
These are from the Metal Breaker clan. They're tattoos of my membership, essentially, and you can see that they're kind of strips of what. Do you know Dwarvish?
I sadly do not know Dwarvish.
Kel does.
But right now, okay. What looks to be Dwarvish text in kind of strips and lines and some twisting down from his shoulder to his elbow. And on the one arm, on the other, there's a few of looks to be kind of small, detailed pictures of small battles. And it says, "This one is the one I got when I came of age. These are accomplishments of battles that I've been a part of."
Interesting. Thank you. then he's just gonna turn back towards looking at the door and slowly reach for one of his pieces of paper to start writing that down.
So is there anything I can like force to the side to try to like help me get through the door?
It's while she's in there. Is that what you're saying, Cal?
I mean, I saw her point at herself, so
I pointed
Oh,
at
okay,
you,
so-
and then I pointed at myself, my mouth.
yeah. Well, I'm gonna take it as you just pointed at yourself.
Right. So you try to reach in. You can kind of like grab the side of a table and start to like lift it. It's really at an awkward angle, trying to get your arm into the door, and then also trying to like lift whatever object is there. Give me an athletics check at disadvantage.
At disadvantage. Okay.
You just see an octopus forehead slap with the tentacle. Whatever octopus noises make,
bomb.
she's making some.
That's a 15.
15. You're able to kind of like scoot the table up a little bit, but whatever's stuck on the door is not what you were lifting, unfortunately. It's a process that you guys could work at, but it would take some time.
I'm gonna go ahead and go back in and see what is stuck on the door. I should have probably done that in the first place, but I was thinking about what's inside.
What you see when Shion kind of crawls back into the room is a large pile of wooden and metal structures that have been pushed against the door. The largest pile of them obviously at the bottom, and the toppling of the tower of a barricade has pushed back slightly some of it and crushed a bit of it as well. And so it's a pile probably a good 5 or 6 feet high.
Yeah, probably
of
wouldn't be
just-
able to move it now that I think looking at it.
Of just pile of stuff. I mean, like I said, it's possible you guys could work at it, but it would be a slow process of someone either in the room moving stuff or people outside trying to shift stuff from their end. But obviously the most useful would be on the inside
Yeah.
of the
Quick
stuff.
question, and I'm just gonna do it just because Torque has an intelligence of 10 and would have not thought of it initially. These doors don't swing out, right?
Yeah, they swing inwards to the door,
Okay.
to the room.
About how well does the metal that's holding them to the wall look?
It's very well made, actually. There's very minimal. There's not really been any moisture in here, so there's not really any rust. They just probably look a little bit old, but they're very well made. So
Okay, good to know.
While Shioran was in the room, I just want to focus on the dream / where we should be going.
okay. You kind of close your eyes and you still continue to feel that pull in that same direction down, and then now at this point it's slightly, if you're like looking down the hallway you guys were going, it's slightly to your right, but it is pretty straight down. And
Shioran.
go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Did you come out of the room? Sorry, I can't remember.
I came out of the room, went back in. I haven't said anything about coming out yet. No.
Oh, okay.
But if you do say my name, my face will pop up in the doorway.
Okay. When your face pops up, I'm just gonna like look at everybody like, if there's nothing of interest here, I feel like we should probably get moving. We kind of made a lot of noise. Plus things to do, things to kill.
Yeah, Shioran's gonna go ahead and come out and change back and just say, well, I wanted you to speak with animals so I could ask what to do, but there's just a whole bunch of bodies, some soldiers, and I think some civilians and stuff like that. It looks like they were barricading in order to avoid whatever. I pointed at the door. Did this.
Which is probably whatever is down there, then, I'd say.
I saw some weapons and stuff in there, but personally I don't feel good about disturbing their grave any more than we have.
Torque lifts his head at the information, writes that down as well, and then kind of picks it up.
Anything interesting on walls?
Did I notice anything interesting on the walls? I completely forgot to double check that.
You weren't in close enough to any of the walls because it was a pretty big grand hall, so you weren't close enough to really see any details on the walls themselves. You kind of got in and went and looked at the bodies and then came out, so you haven't had a chance.
I forgot to look at the walls. I was more focused on the people. Sorry.
It's okay. Bones mean soup. I'd be distracted too.
Wow.
Bones mean
Like that.
soup.
And with that, let's continue on. Retribution is just gonna start walking.
I think, yeah.
I feel like they would have some kind of soup-like thing in under the water, but it's kind of like boiled in a sealed pot or something like that.
At this point, there's no real world comparison, so you make it how you want, man.
And then they drink it.
How soup works underwater is up to you.
Yeah. I think they drink soup instead of eat it in a bowl like normal.
No, they take a pot full of water into a partially submerged cavern that has an air pocket, just so they can have the novel.
Just so they can make soup.
That's great. All right, yeah. So you guys then move down the hallway then.
Mhm.
Where I am.
All right.
Yeah, as everyone walks off, Torque will look at them walking, look at the door, look at them. The stuff is paper away and follow.
We
Rhett
can
continues
decide
down
what
the
else to do
hallway.
later.
And everyone else will follow. You guys start heading down. It stretches on for about 2 or 3 minutes before
After
you come to a another large set of double doors. These ones are not closed, and one of them is actually broken and kind of like hanging off of one hinge. And you see into just a dark, empty room from what you can tell from where you're at.
as we come across that, Shioran will go, "Oh, I just remembered something else. They looked like they had long ears, maybe elves or something, but like they had fangs, and I'm pretty sure that's not elvish. At least for
Considering where Torque's from and the people that live there, can he roll a history to possibly identify those kinds of attributes?
Sure.
While they're doing that, I'll just try to push the door open.
History or nature, your call.
Nature gets me a bonus, so that's a 17.
Sounds vaguely orcish, possibly. Especially the lower teeth being pointed.
Orc, maybe.
Did I meet any I've met orcs in the city, right?
A couple of them, especially in Sharn, you might have seen a few.
I remember we distinctly talked to one half orc
Yeah.
when we had been there.
But these didn't look. The orcs that you've met half orcs, and they kind of vary depending on their heritage. But full orcs, you haven't met too many, but they all seem to be very burly, large-framed. They obviously vary their own in height and size, but these didn't seem to be as maybe big. Also, kind of hard to tell from the deteriorated state, but possibly could be. You're not sure.
Maybe it's a type of orc I haven't seen before, since I haven't seen a lot. But they were not as big as the ones I know of.
Rhett, you walk towards the door and shove against the door itself, and it's kind of grinding a little bit, and then there's like a ting, ting, and the door falls, and you quickly have to step out of the way as it hits the ground, and just a plume of dust just blows out in every direction into the room, and you kind of
Well,
look around. That happens.
Continue on.
Everyone's just, like, listening to the conversation between Shioran and Torp before they
and then
shit
suddenly,
look over again.
yeah, Shioran has her trident in her hand now. Just like, oh, okay.
You guys move into the room.
Sure.
I do.
This
Or
room.
Will, he's also gonna hold his breath when walking by there so he doesn't start sneezing.
All right. And it is kind of like dusty as you guys get into the room. It seems to be some sort of large circular, what the right word is, but
Chamber?
I'd say antechamber type of thing. But what you see is it's a large circular room, large domed ceiling. The ceiling itself probably goes up a good 60, 70 feet. And large sweeping arcs of pillars that go up the sides of the walls and then arc across the dome ceiling. In the center of this area is this massive 30-foot diameter fountain. From the looks of it, it's large and multi-tiered. No water obviously flowing, but it looks to be grandly made. Fixtures on the four, I guess, corners, the four poles of the circle of these grand-looking humanoids. Each of them having both a, from what you can see from where you're at, both a feminine and a masculine looking figure side by side, one looking one way, one looking the other way. And they distinctly have those pointed ears and slightly protruding lower tusks, just barely over the top lip. And each figure is obviously made to statuesque properties. Tall, lithe, masculine is muscular, defined pecs and shoulder and arm muscles. A nice six-pack ab with a sweeping, beautifully carved looking kind of like a veil that stretches across its chest, but it's still well carved enough that it reveals like the muscle look underneath. The feminine has long sweeping hair that reaches down to the middle of their back. Very lithe, small-waisted, but still more muscular than you'd normally see in feminine statues. And it's kind of the same on all sides, the same kind of structure. The fountain itself seems to be made out of kind of this white marble, completely dry from what you can see. The other fixtures you see around there's benches and tables and small stalls that seem to have been worked into the outside walls of this area. Then there are also doors from what you can see as you look into the room and kind of walk in a little bit. There's doors at each end of the kind of like, again, the poles. So you guys are facing one set of the statues, and then on to your right and left there's two doors, and then straight across on the other side of the fountain there's another door. And it's very similar, large 10 foot high double doors.
Which door leads to the way that I'm feeling I should go?
Hard to tell because it's the feeling is straight down. So but if you're from where you're at, I guess the feeling would be more to your right, but it's hard to tell what's actually going to lead that direction.
Yeah. I'm just going to look at everybody and be like, we need to go down.
Bali kind of steps in and looks around a little bit. I've seen other areas like this. They seem to be, from what I can tell, whatever civilization's here, they seem to be centers of community, it seems. And he kind of walks over to one of the stalls, and you see him pull out this like decrepit-looking crate that he kind of puts onto the desk. He's like, I think they used it as maybe some sort of trading center. I'm not really sure, but definitely seems kind of communal.
This place is still dark, right?
Yeah, completely dark. The only light is coming from whatever sources you guys have.
All right.
Which, by the way, is Rhett's lantern and what else?
Torch torch.
Torch. Okay.
Probably got Merrick's hair.
So the light is kind of, so the light of the lantern and the is kind of finally put as Rhett kind of points it around the room, and then the flickering nature of the torch kind of gives off these kind of jumping shadows across the room, especially from behind the fountain onto the other side of the wall.
Does this place look similar to what the room that I was just in, or is it a different type?
Oh, very different.
Okay.
The other one, like I said, is like a grand hall where people are like feasts would be taken. This is more kind of like Bali's saying, almost kind of like a market type of area.
Check out the fountain.
Yeah. Make a perception or investigation check.
All right.
And quick question: is there anything like immediately artworky next to the door that we came into on the walls?
Yeah, you take a look behind you at the walls, and you can see that there are mostly just finely worked marble, but there seems to be parts of it that are embossed with little bits of depictions of similar figures to the statues on the fountain. But a lot of nautical type theme of sweeping movements, arcing swirls along the walls, and even some depictions of what looks to be maybe sea life of some kind. And then what was your investigation or perception check?
It's a 14.
14. You walk up to the fountain itself, and it's old. Part of it looks cracked, and whatever water was here, it dried up a long time ago. Kind of run your hand along it, and it's very smooth past the dust and the grime. And you can see that there is some scroll work on the inside of the fountain itself, but what languages do you know?
I know Common, Infernal, and Primordial.
Unfortunately, you don't understand what this scrolling says.
Hey, Kale.
Sure. What do you need?
You know a lot of languages, right?
I dabble.
What's this?
I take a look at it.
You walk over Kale, and it looks to be Orcish, but as you start to read it, you realize that it's Orcish, but it's old and it's a different dialect than you're used to, so it kind of seems a little bit by gibberish a little bit. Make an intelligence roll for me.
Old English.
Yeah, essentially.
Old Orcish. That's a intelligence roll. That's pretty good. That's a 20. Soft.
20. You look at it for a few minutes, kind of reading. You kind of step around the fountain a little bit, and it seems to talk about the grand nature of the kingdom of Orthanus.
Okay.
And it's founding by the ocean, for the ocean, and the people that strive to live by the bounties of the ocean.
I was frozen. Can you repeat that? Sorry.
That's okay.
I didn't hear anything.
The scrolling work and whatnot talks about the nature of the kingdom of Orthanus, and talks about it's made by the ocean. The people strive to live by that, and he kind of just like bits and pieces of what it's basically saying. Is that basically whoever these people were came over Orthanus? It's definitely a nautical dependent society, whatever it was.
I go over to Shioran with this information, and hey Shioran,
Mm-hmm.
since you're from a seafaring civilization, have you ever heard of an Orthanus kingdom in like any of your history classes or anything like that?
You can make a history check if you'd like, Shioran.
Well, that's not going to be great. That's an 8.
Doesn't ring any bells.
I wasn't that great with history, and so maybe, but if I did, I didn't remember it.
Merrick steps up as I roll a natural 20 for his history check.
He's like, I know everything.
He's like, I'm not very classically trained in knowledge, but it does ring a bell. I think it was an old kingdom that had something to do with protecting. He's trying to think it over. They sealed something away. I remember reading something on Orthanus and their contribution in sealing some far off evil from taking its root here in the material plane. I don't know much more past that. It was all I'm remembering is a piece of a book that I read a while back, but they definitely had some great sages that worked some, from what it talks about, some pretty insane magic. No details on exactly what it was, but apparently whatever it was that they sealed away was not easy to seal away.
Would any of that sound familiar to Torque, given what he had learned earlier about the, what was it, the wardens?
Sounds like good news for us.
It also sounds similar to like the mission that the Tritons have to keep the horrors of the water realm from invading.
It does strike a chord with you, sure.
Mm-hmm.
The Gatekeeper Druids.
Sounds actually quite familiar, yeah. There might be a connection there. Merrick himself is kind of taking a step around the fountain.
It does sound a lot like what the Triton's mission is, with the Druidic Knights.
Yeah, that's. I think you mentioned something about them before, so that's why I had to ask you.
Mm-hmm. I wish I'd paid attention better in history.
Should ask Gatekeeper Druids in Drone.
Well, that sounds like a place we can go next then, I guess.
So where is everybody in the room at the moment? We've got Rhett, Kale, and Merrick over at the fountain. Shioran, Torque.
Shioran was like looking through the market stalls and stuff like that to see if there was anything the group could use.
All right.
Torque was close to the wall where we were entering in, and he was just about to climb up, trying to disturb as little as possible with his claws.
All right. Torque, as
Looking for a way down through the fountain.
Yeah, right. You're kind of like moving along. Torque, you're trying to like climb up onto part of the wall, and you get part way up, and you're looking at this this depiction of this. It's kind of hard to tell. You have to like wipe away some of the dust, and you're looking at this depiction of this humanoid riding what looks to be a large sea animal of some kind. And as you get kind of like closer, squint at it, all of a sudden you kind of have to like blink. It's almost like it looks like you lose your vision. Something goes black, but then as you pull your head back, you realize that something has come out of the wall that is completely black, and it has you look at it, and this little bright blue light just appears in the black hood of whatever this creature is, before you feel a sudden pain, and you look down, and there's this writhing dark appendage sticking into your stomach. And
Fun.
I imagine it's hard to see this from a distance.
Yeah, we're all just really obliviously like
I'll just
looking
see it
around this
fall.
fountain.
you're about to see him when he falls off the wall.
Or, you know, when his torch falls before him, yeah.
Yeah, and he falls onto the torch.
I'm so sorry, Torque.
Oh no!
Oh no.
I haven't healed yet. Oh no! I'm so sorry, Torque. Great.
I'm sorry, I rolled real fucking high for this. 31 points of piercing damage. And you immediately fall. You're not fine enough to take any fall damage, but you immediately fall back on your back prone as this thing kind of releases you, and it has this bluish looking arm with claws that it has pulled out of your gut as you fall to the floor on your back, and you see it just shift back into the wall. And that's where we're going to take our break.
No!
Oh
I'm about
boy.
to say, does my bow go off?
Oh no!
So we'll be back in about 15 minutes.
Well, that's not what I expected to happen.
Oh.
By the way, did I find anything of interest?
I'll let you know when we get back.
Okay.
Now our health is at a similar place, Torque.
No, it's fine. It's only a fourth of my health. I'm fine.
I know, we're at a similar place.
I completely forgot that I was going to, like, I should have written this down. I was
forgot to
supposed to
ask.
try and see who needs healing after last time, but like,
I can always heal myself a little bit, but
of course I forgot over the week.
yeah, that's fine.
Alright.
I think I was the only one that was hurt from the black ooze thingy.
We'll see you after break, chat.
Yep.
Yee.
Hey, Ant, it's here.
Yee. I just look up and there's just black squares where everyone is, and I'm like, did everyone log off? you some drinks. I certainly did. Gonna save that for later. But for now, bubble tea. It's a little watered down because we left it out there for a little bit, but it's still good. Let's see what has happened over in NotProVOs Twitter. Okay, I don't remember the context of this. I'm gonna have to ask Tori when she gets back. Tori put many things in his mouth last session. Octiorin. I still think Shiokton was better. I forgot how good these are. And I already knew they were good.
What's the quote you need to ask Tori about when she gets back?
Hold on. Before stream fun, excuse my French, but that was a dick grind.
That was when I was talking about Destiny 2.
Okay, now I understand.
I know what exactly Torque's going to say as soon as you all notice that he fell off the wall.
Okay. You know what I imagined the moment we came in and Scott mentioned how dusty the room was? I imagine Shioran trying to fix it, fix all the dust by casting, what's the spell that she gets? Not Fog Cloud. Gust of Wind, and winds up making it worse. I can't believe I forgot the healing part from last week.
No, it's fine, because you remember that you wanted to say something to Rhett, but then you forgot what it actually was.
Yeah. I need to take notes, but I'm terrible at taking notes even when I try to take notes. So...
Man, just look at how easy that door would have been if we still had Lyslin. Just 1,500 pounds of horse kicking at that door. I don't care what's behind that barricade.
Yeah.
I could just imagine Kel through his bow hearing Lyslin's voice as he's pushing as hard as he could against that thing. Basically, put your back into it.
Have you tried your legs?
So what, are you going to take Warlock next and have Lyslin as your patron?
Sure, let's
An
do
Archfey?
Okay, yeah, let's do it, man.
Oh, man.
Also, here's how you can flavor your bow with the warning from now on. Just Lyslin's voice in the back of your mind. Look out behind you.
Slowly but surely, Kale's driven mad by his bow.
Okay, man.
By the end of the campaign, Kale's gonna have every single class. It's not gonna be strong at any of them.
I love the Master of None build.
He's not gonna be strong at any of them, but hell is he gonna have a lot of abilities. I honestly don't think that's recommended, but
It's definitely not.
well, someone's doing something on the map. I saw a little ping there. And I think it was Scott's color.
See, I can't help but think that this current area is going to have more than a few passing resemblances to the capital of Torque's home, because of out-of-character knowledge that I've got, but in character, I'm thinking some of this has got to be ringing a couple of bells for him.
Hello. There we go.
Hello.
Welcome back.
So this is exciting. We're
Mhm.
all gonna die. Quick deaths from an aggressor we can't even see.
Not yet. Not if Shioran has anything to say about it. I like our tokens. They're pretty good.
Sad about tomorrow. It's supposed to be 40 degrees and raining. And I have to work outside.
Hooray!
That's a bummer. I think if it rains, I won't have to go to work. I don't know.
You said it's gonna be 40 degrees, and my first instinct was to turn my space heater on.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about it, I just did it. Well,
Like, whoa, too cold for me. I'm out. I don't mind 40-degree weather as long as it's not like super windy and wet, but it's going to be gross tomorrow. So that's gonna suck.
yeah.
Also, I was hoping this kind of weather was done for the year. Even though it's only February.
We accidentally let the bubble tea sit for like 15 minutes outside while we were playing. So it's a little watered down, unfortunately. That's one thing you don't want your bubble tea to be, is watered down.
No.
Just like regular tea.
I'm gonna have to try bubble tea.
Hmm.
Perhaps I'll try it tomorrow.
I still think it's not as good as it's hyped up to be.
I've just never tried it before. I'll have to see if the place even near my house is even open. Let me look.
Mainly the hype is for the pearls.
Is it?
Heard about one.
Yeah, I don't know if
person
they're like
Yeah, I
this.
specifically can't stand that part because like they burst and they leave that film on my teeth and I can't stand it.
I heard about some lady who drank those like every day, like multiple times, and she ended up having a problem with like she was just swallowing them, and they like piled up in her stomach.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Okay,
How
yeah,
would
there's
they
a place
pile up? Oh.
3 minutes from my house called Tea Bear Tea House.
No, you're supposed to burst them. The But there's also some, like, we had some at a I believe it was I don't remember, it was an Asian food place, but I don't remember which one. And they had like, it was kind of like thick gummy fruit pieces. So like you had a little bit of crunch when you bit into them, but it didn't burst.
Yeah, I don't know if the little bubble things appeal to me or not. See.
I like almost anything that's sweet, so. And I enjoy the novelty of bursting things in your mouth. Let me rephrase that.
I'm sure you do. Ant.
I'm sure you do.
The only thing I like busting in my mouth is Pop Rocks. All right.
So glad we're live for this.
I watched that video you sent me, Scott, of the guy heckling the. He's like, whenever you jack off guys in the bathroom, do you do it in the sink or do you wait for an employee to come clean it up for you?
No, you do it in the sink of the toilet like you're supposed to.
I have no idea what's going on.
It's amazing.
Ugh.
What's a Japanese cupcake and why is it $10?
Good lord.
To be fair, Japanese cupcakes are super overdone. Like they'll really design the heck out of it.
I'm ready to go.
All right, I'm ready to go as well. If everyone else is.
Is Nug here?
Amazingly, yes.
Oh, okay, I just
There
hadn't
you
heard
go.
you talk yet.
Holy shit, the Nug Davis.
Wow, I'm fangirling.
I felt that sarcasm and it stabbed me right in the heart.
Then we will roll for initiative.
Okay.
Kaylin, if you can give me your initiative, please.
1 second.
Oof. The DM's got a lot of people to play in this combat.
That would be 18.
Merrick, Shior, or not Shiorn, Shauna,
Shauna,
Bali, and the monster.
Shioran.
Natural 20 for a 20.
Oh, we get advantage.
You get advantage.
Hooray!
Fucking Merrick 23.
That's funny because I just
Fucking
nonchalantly tossed that die too. I was just like, woo!
Retribution.
18.
Sorry, what?
18.
18. And Torque.
12.
Oh no.
Wow.
He's dealing
Yeah,
with
I know.
falling.
I rolled a 10 and a 2. It
That
was-
hit you hard. And you're like, oh, I'm a little slow on the draw here.
And Scott, if you could describe it again from my notes, that would just be great.
Yeah, well, all you saw was this kind of like almost like a black flowing hood push its way out through the like incorporeally just push itself out through the wall, and all you saw was black underneath the hood with one shining kind of off to the right, one shining blue dot that just kind of blinked into existence as it looked at you. And you looked down as the pain started. This kind of blue, decrepit looking hand with claws was shoved into your gut, and then pulled back. And as you fell and looked up at this thing, it shifted back into the wall. That is, we will start off with Merrick. And, Merrick hears Torque fall, looks around, and obviously sees him in pain. And
As he falls and hits the ground, you just hear him mutter,
Art is pain.
he looks around. He's like, "Torque, are you okay? What's going on?" And he's going to get a firebolt ready to blast at something he sees. Shauna is going to move over. He's going to check on you, Torque. What she sees is like these 5 welts that are just seeping blood out of your gut, where this thing pierced in, and it's a deep, severe wound. And she kind of looks around. What the hell did that? Getting a sense that no one saw anything, unfortunately. Shiorn.
So no one saw it, which probably means I didn't see it.
Nope. The only notification that anything happened is you heard Torque fall, and he's looking hurt on the ground.
Hmm. Well, that's going to waste a natural 20, but... Them's the breaks.
Unfortunately, none of your passives were high enough.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Shiorn would definitely hurry over to Torque as well. To see if he, like, needs healing or anything like that. Notice these wounds and be like...
Definitely looks like he was hurt pretty severely.
What was that? And I'm going to...
If possible, Torque's just kind of like going loosely towards the wall.
I don't think I would have my weapons out at this moment. Just thinking about that, but as a bonus action, I would most likely bring out my my sickle and cast cure wounds on him.
Okay.
Go ahead with the first level, I think. So 1d8. I always forget what a d8 looks like until I actually find one. Oh, that's bad. That's 5 plus a d4, I believe. That's a 4, so 9 points of healing.
And you added the D4 from the sickle?
Yeah, I rolled really low on the d8. Unfortunately.
Alright. Anything else, Shiorn?
That was the bonus action to bring out the weapon, and then the action to heal. Nothing else other than just like worrying over Torque.
Mm-hmm. Retribution.
I will go haul Torque up off the ground.
I can't quite make it all the way to him.
Okay, can't see it.
Yeah, it's okay. You're 5, 15, 20, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, about 70 feet away from him at the moment.
Oh, JK then. I will continue to look. I'll like check on him and see him on the ground. And then I'll just go back to looking at the fountain to see if there's a way down through the fountain.
Alright, you look over your shoulder, you see Torque on the ground holding his gut, and the two...
I'm like, oh, Shiorn's there. That's alright.
Shiorn and Sean are over there, and it looks like they've got things covered at the least. You're not sure what happened, but okay. Look back at the fountain, make a investigation check for me. One more time.
Oh, that's a good roll. Okay. Let's see. +2, so that's a dirty 20.
All right. So you actually see something that possibly, and you hop into the fountain. It's about 10 feet of your movement to get over the ledge and into it, and you get towards the center. It's a large, multi-tiered fountain, and it has these depictions of waves and small undersea animals, kind of fish and whatnot, starting to look like they were like jumping out of the water, I should say, and flowing with it. And you look under one section, and it looks like there possibly could be, kind of grab it and pull on a part, and a little bit of a lever kind of, and there's a grinding sound, and you start to feel the floor moving underneath you as it's starting to spin to your left. But that's about all you feel with the full of your turn. Do you want to do anything with your bonus action or the rest of your movement?
Let's see. Not my movement, I don't think. Bonus action. Oh. I think that's all I'll do for now.
All right. Kale.
Okay, so I'm assuming I didn't see too much go on with.
Heard Torque fall. You can see him on the ground behind you, but you also see Rhett jump into the fountain and pull something, and now there's a pretty loud grinding sound coming from below the fountain.
Okay, I'm gonna step back a little bit on that.
10 feet.
Yeah. Get
Smart
my bow
move.
out. And just in case, I'm gonna cast Spiritual Weapon.
All right, where would you like to place it?
Just kind of like a little bit above me. Probably like adjacent, like in the square next to me.
All right.
And it takes the shape of a. I'll do a butcher's knife this time.
All right.
Nice.
This big butcher's knife. We talking like Ichigo style or?
No, I'm talking about like straight up French chef. I just beheaded
Butcher's
a
knife,
rabbit.
check.
Butcher's knife.
All right. Anything else for your turn, Kel?
That was a action, bonus action. It's a regular action. I'm going to I'm not going to do an action this time, so I'm just going to.
You can hold an action. Or what?
No, I have nothing. I have nothing to really hold on because I don't really feel like I'm in danger yet. So.
The bow hasn't activated.
Oh, question: Did my bow activate?
What's the range on that?
I'll read out the. Warns you of danger while the weapon is on your person. In addition, you and any of your companions within 30 feet of you can't be surprised, except when incapacitated by something other than non-magical sleep.
Essentially, you guys aren't surprised. You weren't necessarily. It was enough that you're not surprised. It's like kind of like as Torque was falling, you felt it vibrate, but not surprised. It's just you still got to do your turn. So.
Well, he could have like slipped or something. Yeah.
Yeah. Obviously, something's up.
Okay, so I'm gonna keep my attention on that area in case like I see anything just kind of come out. I'll tell you what I should I? Fuck it, I am. I'm gonna cast light.
Okay, what are you casting it on?
I'm gonna cast it basically to illuminate what's around them in case there is something dangerous and like Torque ran into a spike on the wall or something.
Check something real quick. Light is a touch spell.
Okay. Then I won't do anything.
All right. Bali is going to look over and pull out the long sword and kind of get that in both hands. He's like, "What's going on?" And he's just going to get ready for something to happen. Torque.
He's going to use 5 feet of his movement to stand up because he has athlete. And he's just going to like stare at the wall and kind of like look around, surprised.
Make a perception check.
15 on the die for a 19 total.
19 total. Okay. Yeah, you look around, don't see anything. There's a lot of dark in the room with just the light of your torch, which is now on the ground, and Rhett's lantern, which is halfway across the room.
After that, he's going to go ahead and bonus action to make sure that his new appendage is out. And he'll just kind of hold that to see if anything comes at him again. Ready to strike.
All right, yeah. as you guys are all kind of looking around, it's gone quiet into the room. I'd say Kale. Actually, let me check here one second.
I was just thinking, if it turns out to be Kale, it's targeting him once again.
I don't think anyone's passive above 17.
So low.
I don't think so. All right. So none of you see this until it's too late. As this thing rises up behind
Oh no.
behind Merrick.
Merrick.
He is unaware of it and unable to take his reaction because of it, as it is snuck up on him. And so...
Hold on. Kale's bow.
Can't be surprised. Doesn't mean they can't be
And
snuck
he's
up
within
on.
30 feet.
Like I said, can't be surprised. But doesn't mean they can't be snuck up on. Does it say anything about not getting advantage from being sneak?
Doesn't snuck up on basically being surprised?
No.
There's a specific thing with getting advantage from not being seen. Does the bow say anything about that?
No.
Okay. Yeah. So you can still be snuck up on in the sense of like you can't see your target and they get behind you. It's kind of like the sting. Like it glows. You know there's danger, not necessarily know what the danger is.
Okay.
That would be way too powerful for an uncommon item.
Yeah, that kind of stuff is locked behind the alert feed.
Yeah. Alright, so that is 19, which hits. Kale, you see this as it happens, but like kind of from hearing the scream of pain as you look over to your left and you see Merrick with his back arched as this large, tall, 7-foot tall shadow looks like a kind of Dementor-esque with just a long cloak kind of flowing down below it, looking like tenderly shadows coming off of it, and just a blue glow coming from under the hood as its head has reached down and seems to be buried in Merrick's neck as he's pulling away from it a bit, and he's now aware of it as it brings out these two gangly looking blue arms as it goes to reach in and claw at him. Misses with one as Merrick is able to kind of shoulder it off. Even the shield that would hit, so proc that. Merrick gets hit for another 16 points of damage. He needs to make a wisdom save. Looks like he rolled a 5. So you see this thing bite into
Where
him.
is he?
So Merrick is 5, 10, about 25 feet away from you.
Okay.
And the shadow creature itself, as you kind of look over your shoulder after hearing Merrick's yell of pain, is about 20 feet away from you. It bites into his neck, goes to claw one. Merrick's able to bring up his arm against that one, but the other arm comes in and digs into his side. And Kale, you can see the look on Merrick's face. It goes from just pain to utter terror. Eyes go wide, starts hyperventilating, and this thing lets him go, and you see Merrick just fall to the ground. It's just as Merrick is now terrified of this thing.
I can't blame him after what just transpired.
And it is going to just slide away from Merrick. Merrick is going to attempt to take a shot at it, but it will be a disadvantage from being frightened. And his firebolt goes completely wide, as he is not in a good state. As this thing just kind of slides away from him, just kind of seeping into the shadows to the point where you guys can kind of see where it's at, but the darkness of this room really cloaks it in its own shadows. The most you can see is that little blue glow from under the hood. And that'll be its turn. Back up to Merrick, and he is terrified. He can't get closer to this thing, but he is going to get pissed and action. You see him just kind of yell out in anger, and Merrick gets completely covered in fire himself as his bonus action as he activates his Mantle of Flame. As his bonus action,
Hot.
he is now a 30-foot radius of bright light and an additional 30 feet of dim light. As this, you can now see this thing a little bit more clear, as now there's light streaming off of Merrick. And then he is going to launch a fire spell at this thing. It's not like what it did to him, so he is going to send a 3rd level Scorching Ray. Even with disadvantage on the second one's at 24. Wow, rolling real well for disadvantage.
Yeah, I'm seeing. I see that.
26. And a 19. So he hits with 3 of them. Misses the first one as he blasts it off, and it goes wide as he's trying to like hold his steady hand, but he finally solidifies and blasts off the last 3. But you see as they hit home target-wise, they pass right through this thing. Just boop, 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 boop. And you see them explode on the wall behind this thing.
Doesn't seem to have done any damage.
Seem to have passed right through the creature. And Merrick is going to move away from it. As he does move, he'll stay actually closer to you, Kale, on the side of you. So 5, 10, 15, 20.
Good.
So yeah, he's keeping it just in range of the dim light, so it's still kind of hard to see, but you can make it out now that it's not in complete darkness. I apologize, I'm just playing with my toys here. It's Shauna's turn. Shauna goes tearing off after this thing. And is going to start making some attacks.
I'm guessing she's Step of the Winded.
No, she's got 60 feet of fucking walking speed.
Oh, right, monks.
You know? And being a wood elf. And I'm pretty sure she took the mobile feat.
Yeah, that was recommended to her. Monks with mobile feet are
Yep. Alright, she's gonna take a swing with her. She takes a swing with that and hits. This thing doesn't seem to be dodging at all. She takes a swing with her axe, her fan, even magically imbued with her key. Just seems to slide through it. You see her kind of have to catch herself as there's no catch to the momentum, and she has to kind of roll with it. And she slides backwards, goes for a kick, just to see if that can do anything. And gets a nice home strike against the chest. Nothing. Goes right through it. And she kind of looks back at everyone else, is like, guys, can't hit this thing.
It's unusual that you can't hit it even with magic.
Shiaran, your turn.
Well, if you can't hit it with magic and you can't hit it with physical, what is there to do? I have only one idea to try.
Just a quick question. That was factoring in that her strikes are considered magical, right?
Correct.
Okay, just making sure.
Yep.
Would it take an action to like try and see if I know anything about this creature, or
You got what you got, clue-wise. Take what you will.
okay. Well, the only thing I can think of is I'm going to cast Guiding Bolt using one of my extra uses.
Alright.
So the only thing I can think of is maybe radiant damage does something to this demonic thing.
What's the range on Betty Bolt?
120.
Okay, yep, you're fine.
$16.
16 hits. Roll your damage.
It hits. Guiding Bolt is 40. Yeah, that one. Oh, I dropped one. That's the second time I've dropped dice tonight. It's starting to become Monty Glue. Okay, so that's going to be 5 plus 2 plus 3, that's 10, 14 damage. There's no addition, so it's 14 total.
14. So you see it actually connect. The light of the guiding bolt strikes the creature, and you actually see it hit solid. And you see it. You hear this blood-curdling scream come from the creature, and the light briefly flashes underneath the darkness of the hood, and you see for just a brief moment this skeletal creature, but long, like it looks like it has about double the amount of ribs as a normal creature does. Longer like femur and bony arms and whatnot than a normal creature would, and large, almost like shark-like teeth in its mouth as it screams, with one eyeless socket glowing with that blue glow before the light fades quickly and it's just shadow, but it has that glow for a brief moment before, as the scream intensifies, there is a burst of darkness from this creature, and there is now just a dome of blackness around it and Shauna.
So, Shiorn starts out saying, I thought so. Radiant damage if you... And then suddenly...
And is now a 15-foot radius dome of darkness around Shauna and the creature.
By the way, I didn't mention it, but because I completely forgot to, but I'd have to bonus action call my trident to my hand to use that. So that's basically my turn right there. How wide is the?
Thought you got your trident out to heal Torque.
I called out my sickle.
Oh.
Yeah, the sickle is the healing one. The trident is literally my spellcasting thing, because like it's literally got my focus in it.
All right. So, anything else, Shiorn?
No, that's all I can do. Like I said, bonus action was taken to call the trident out.
All right.
I mean-
Retribution.
How far away is the thing of darkness?
10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. About 50, 55 feet away from you, from the edge of the darkness.
And not get there. So, what's happening below me?
Yeah, as it gets to your turn, it begins to shift more, and at this point, near the south end of the fountain, you can see that there is a section opening up, and you can see what looks maybe like the first set of stairs to maybe something that leads down.
I'll just walk over to the south part. I'm not gonna go down yet, but I can't make it to the dome of darkness that I can't see through anyways, so...
Yeah, you're just kind of looking at it as
I don't have a
slowly
ranged
moving.
attacks really, so I'll just go to the stairs.
All right. Kalen.
Okay, so Kale, when he sees his sister being engulfed in a cloud of darkness, he's gonna go into angry little brother mode and run up towards it. And you see in the background his big butcher's knife. It just kind of floating there and just kind of just goes, oh shit, and starts following him, but slower.
It's 20 feet, right, for that?
Yes, 20 feet.
And then I moved you 30. Do you want to use your action to dash?
I will not use my action to dash.
Right.
Because I should be in enough space to, as you see him move forward, he pulls out his holy symbol, and when he gets as far as he could, he kind of slides in, holds it up, and I'm going to use my light domain ability and use Channel Divinity Radiance of the Dawn.
Okay, what does that do?
As an action, you may use your Channel Divinity to present your holy symbol to dispel any magical darkness within 30 feet.
That is correct. You succeed on that.
Each hostile creature that doesn't have total cover must make a Constitution saving throw or take 2d10 plus 5 damage.
Sweet.
So within 30 feet?
Yes.
He is just within range. Constitution saving throw, you said?
Constitution saving throw, yes.
That is a 5.
So that is a failure, so I'm going to roll damage.
What kind of damage is it?
2d10 plus 5.
What kind of damage?
It's radiant.
Okay.
That's really good. That's really good. So that is 24 points of damage. 23 points of damage, sorry. Math.
Nice.
So, yeah, unless you want to describe this a certain way, Kale, you go running forward, hold up your holy symbol, and there's just a burst of radiant light, just almost blinding to the rest of you as it completely just annihilates this dome of darkness. As this creature looks like it's about halfway through the ground, as the light just erupts around it, and you see it just scream in pain. Parts of its cloak is getting burned away. Its arm is starting to sizzle, and it's looking. The glowing blue looks directly at Kale, and there's just this malevolent evil coming from this creature. But is still up, but it is looking heavily hurt by that.
And I guess basically you see once the light goes away, you see Kel with his holy symbol still in his hand, kind of does the Morpheus come at me, bro. Yeah, exactly.
Bali kind of like looks up. What the hell is that thing? But he will move forward and get there. But he's saw that there was not really anything people were doing to it. He doesn't have any. He just kind of like looks like, sorry, I don't got no cool magic abilities like that. He's just gonna stay where he's at. Torque.
Alright, first thing Torque's gonna do is he's gonna scoop his torch up off of the ground.
Alright.
And after that, he's gonna move 40 as close as he can. And what's my range from that right now? 20?
20 feet.
20 feet? Okay. So it's at the edge of his bright light of the torch then.
So it's inside of it.
Okay. Right. 20-foot radius, right.
Mhm.
This is gonna sound weird. Does it look more solid in the light?
You could not so much solid, but you can see that it is more detail on it, and you can see parts of its limbs. The blue skin is mottled and pockmarked, and where the fingers are, there are these long, probably about 3 or 4 inch bladed claws on each finger that you can tell is what dug into your gut. And you can almost see the shimmer of the teeth underneath the hood, but it's still that blackness underneath the hood seems to be resisting the light even from your torch.
Okay. Interesting.
Because that channel divinity is just a burst; it doesn't stay. Correct?
That is correct.
Okay.
It is
Sure.
just a burst.
Okay.
I'm just considering, does he rage or not, roleplay wise? I mean, it's hard to say.
It's there.
Let me flip the coin real quick. Okay, yeah. His eyes fucking narrow in on this thing, and he enters his cold rage state, and his tail elongates once more. As part of that rage is going to move another 15. Now he's gonna go the full 21 out.
So your kitty corner with Shauna above this thing.
And with that, he's gonna go ahead and try his new appendage. Question. This is the first attack roll since being hit by Guiding Bolt, correct?
Technically, yes.
Okay. So that would be advantage?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yee.
Just fishing for that crit. That's a 18 on the die, plus his whip would be...
You're attacking with a whip?
Yeah.
Roll normal.
Okay. Then, yeah, that's a 18 still.
Mm-hmm.
The first one was the 18, then the second was the 17.
Mhm.
So that is... plus 8, so 26.
So yeah, you would hit as you go swing with the whip. As it gets close, you almost feel a resistance against your arm. Like all of a sudden, it's resisting your pull, but you pull through and you do swing through, and hit it. But unfortunately, it goes through it, doing no damage.
Okay. That's one of his attacks. Second, he's just gonna, swing with his tail for the hell of it. 16 on the die, plus 7, so that's 25, which...
Yeah. And so, yeah, you go through your attacks, just swinging with the whip, swinging with your tail, and it's just like trying to strike smoke. And it doesn't seem to strike this creature in the slightest. Anything else?
Let's see, that's his movement, bonus action, actions to attack. Yeah, he's just focusing in now.
All right. And it is going to pull off whatever move it can. So as it rears back and releases another scream of utter like pain and rage, you see its cloak lash out in these sharp daggers of darkness as it lashes out around him. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Oh, 5, 15, 20, 30. Yeah, so, and it is a big radius. Within 60 feet of him, these shadows lash out in these sharp lances of darkness, and I need Torque, Shauna, Kale, and Bali all to make dexterity saving throws.
I can see this effect, correct?
Correct.
That is a natural 20 from Kale.
That is a natural 1 from Shauna.
Damn.
It is a safer suck, so you are able to avoid all damage. Kale. Torque, what was yours?
So, let me tell you the tale of Torque's advantage on dex saving throws, which rolled a 2 and a 6, for a total of 8.
Ooh. Bali was able to make it with a 20, so unfortunately, Torque, you're the only one that takes damage. Oh, no, Shauna takes damage too. You both take damage because she rolled a natural 1.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Dude, it's fine if Torque goes down. I've got like 3 backup characters.
Yeah, but Shiaran's already got that resolve in her to not to let anyone else go down anymore.
Yeah, Kale doesn't want that either.
So if she has to, she'll go into pure protection mode.
What's that? You don't want Kale to have even more baggage?
I
Like the amount of baggage that you got?
Yeah, I think he's got
just
enough
for
baggage.
carry on?
Yeah.
So this is the complete opposite of what I rolled for when I rolled for you, Torque. I rolled a 7, an 8, and a 6. For this one, I rolled a 7, a 2, a 1, a 2, a 2, and a 7.
Good, less damage.
And so yeah, but Torque and Shauna, you both take 19 points of necrotic damage.
I like to imagine that as this necrotic hits, like, Torque's flesh is just starting to melt off, except for the parts of him that are tainted with silver.
And then it is going to not like that. Actually, I'm 5, 10, 15, 20. Okay, so Sure, you were just outside of it, but actually Retribution, I need you to make the save because you were just within the 60-foot range.
Dexterity, was
Holy
that what it was?
crap.
Yeah, dexterity. Yeah, it is a big blast of lashing shadows.
Dexterity save. Oof. I got a plus. Okay. Plus 6, so 16.
16. You just make it. So you're able to basically, as you see this burst of darkness coming towards you, you just kind of lean backwards. as
Step
it-
into the stairs. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh.
Like, what the hell's going on up there again?
I'm like, oh no.
It is going to dip into the. It is going to dip into the ground. Shauna isn't going to waste her reaction on this, as she hasn't been able to hit it yet. Torque, do you want to take a reaction to try to attack it as it dips on the ground?
Let me roll. Let me flip another coin.
Okay.
Nah. He saw that his tail wasn't connecting. So he'll be pissed and he'll be cursing and pissed, but he won't swing at it. And yes, I claim that his dialect of Draconic is just called hiss.
I like it. You've got Fusro Da, and then you have.
All right. You guys can't see, Ant, you can't see where it is, right?
No.
I just want to make sure the GM layer is working.
Yeah, it's gone.
Okay, gotcha. Let me just actually roll something real quick.
I mean, it's not where it was. I don't know if you moved it or not because I wasn't fully paying attention.
I did. I just make sure you can't see it on the map.
Yeah, I don't. The audience can't see it either.
All right. All right. So you guys have completely lost track of where it is at the moment. Back up to Merrick. He's frustrated that he hasn't been able to hit this thing yet, and he's going to just try to. Actually, forgot to make his move, his frighten thing last turn. So let me pull that real quick for him. Wow, rolling crappy. Sorry. So he is still frightened from last turn. But it is outside of sight. So he can move forward, since he can't see where it's at.
Group up. Awesome.
Alright, so his 30-foot radius bright and another 30-foot radius of dim light. Still don't see this thing. It seems to have just vanished momentarily. And he just readies a firebolt for now, just in case this thing comes up. But Shauna is going to back up. And just go kind of in line with her brother and kind of looks at you, Kale, and goes, well, don't let up now with your flashing light. Shiorn.
Alright, so I assume I can't see where it is either.
Nope. You can make a perception check if you'd like.
Does that take an action?
In this case, it would, as
Okay.
you are scanning around trying to find where this creature is.
I believe I'm going to stay where I am and actually hold my action. Hold an action. Hold a spell, excuse me. I'm gonna go for the guiding bolt as well. And the trigger is whenever I see the thing again.
Okay. And what are you holding?
Guiding bolt.
Guiding bolt.
Yeah. I
Gotcha.
believe that takes the entire turn, correct?
You use your action to ready, and then you basically have to use your reaction later on. So you still have your bonus action, you still have your movement.
Okay, I have a bonus action.
But holding a spell does count as concentrating on a spell, just so you're aware.
Okay, yeah. I've never really done something like this before, so this is new territory for me, and it's fun.
It's a simple action, but it's got so many caveats to it.
Mhm. So, can I do a bonus action? I've already used a spell, leveled spell, so. Do I want to do that? Only have one form left. If I do that, I'm not going to have any more. Yeah. I'm going to risk it. I'm going to go ahead and bonus action go into my starry form archer, or excuse me, the jellyfish form. So now I have
All right.
a jellyfish floating around me.
All right. Is that it for you?
Yeah, that'll be it for this turn.
Retribution.
Okay. I would like to say, oh, it looks like it's run scared in a very mocking tone. So just in case it can't understand common, it will still understand the insult. I did a great performance with my mocking tone, just so you know. I rolled a 19. Plus something.
How bard-like?
You know, I'm charismatic. And then I will also be like, hey, I found some stairs, guys. And then I will just hold my action of hitting this thing with my sword if it's close to me.
All right.
The mocking tone is really what I want to get.
Get across.
Yeah.
Kale, your turn.
Okay. So, since everyone is grouped up on me, it's not a bad thing, actually. That I could see. Shit.
The light that's giving off from everybody is not reaching all the way to the edge of the room.
Okay. If that's the case, Kale sees that Shioran's got a guiding bolt charged up, and so knowing that she's probably waiting for this thing to show up, he's going to cast Daylight.
Send it on you.
Yes.
Oh boy.
And that would be a 60-foot sphere, 60-foot radius sphere of light.
All right. So, just this large, even larger than the first blast of radiant light that came off of Kale. He just now is shining like the sun, and this entire place lights up as if this was outside. And the entire room, honestly, is almost all completely lit up with just the edges around it in dim light. Who has so you can see, I'll give you this. So you see off to the very edge, you see this tipped over table where coming up from the back of it, you see that its shadow is darker than the other ones. Like everything's giving off kind of this its own shadow as this light is just pouring off of Kale. But there's a shadow that's behind this table that seems a bit thicker, a bit darker than the other shadows around it. Take that what you will, but it might be the creature.
And Kale's weapon is going to start advancing on that area.
All right.
I think that's what outside of the 120 feet, right? Since it's the whole diagonal thing.
Yeah. So for you,
60-foot radius, that's 120-foot diameter.
No. I'm talking about my own personal range, 120 feet.
it's within 95 feet of you.
Okay. So would could I take the guiding bolt?
Yeah, go for it.
All right.
I will say because of where it's at right now, that is a disadvantage.
Okay.
Just because it is partially hidden.
Well, the stipulation was if I see it, so I kind of think I have to take it anyways.
Go for it.
Emotional damage. Damage, V. 7 plus. What was it? I think 7. Yes, plus 7, 14.
You hit.
Yes!
Nice.
Thing does not have a high AC.
Alright, so 4d6. I did not state higher level, so that was my bad. Oh, wait, no, I can't do it with the extra uses. I rolled low. 5, 7, 8, and 9. So that's 9 points of radiant damage.
You see it strike again as it does take that, as it takes the radiant damage, it kind of corporates out of the shadow as it screams in pain again as the radiant damage hits it. It does use its reaction ability again, and now there is another 15-foot radius black dome of magical darkness around it now. So that it's easy to see where it exactly is, but you can't see it, as it's just this dome of darkness that's kind of taking up this really odd-looking space in the bright light that's shining off of Kale. But anything else, Sharon?
No, that was just my held action. So
Question.
that's all I can do.
Yes, right. So it's still your turn, Kale.
So, question. Is that reaction, its spell, was that a 3rd level spell or lower?
Yes, but I don't think I don't think that works in that sense. Like the daylight would dispel the darkness, it doesn't prevent the darkness from being cast in it.
Yeah, the reason I'm saying that is because there's a stipulation at the end of daylight where it says if any of this spell's area overlaps with an area of darkness created by a spell, a 3rd level of lower, the spell that created the darkness is dispelled.
Oh, then yeah. So it tries to, with its reaction, let off that darkness. Within what range?
Within the area of the spell, which is a 60-foot radius.
So it's technically outside the 60. It's in the dim light section of the 60-foot radius.
So it does work.
Well,
part of it's probably dispelled. I'm sorry, I meant it doesn't work. Excuse me.
The darkness actually would go into the light spell itself. So yes, it actually would dispel it. So it doesn't go off. It starts to. There's this burst of blackness from it, but as it reaches the cusp of the bright light of daylight, it just whoosh, burns away. And the creature is still vulnerable. It is now shining.
Mm-hmm.
You can imagine, does the creature just goes, fuck!
It's looking panicked now. But anything else, Kale?
That is my turn.
All right. Bali is looking at all of this and looking at all of you and like, well, okay, you guys are a little bit more powerful than I thought you were. But he can't really do anything, unfortunately, to help in this situation. He's just kind of staying off to the side. Torque.
That 40 gets me within 10 feet of the table, right?
Let's see, 5, 10, 15, 20, 30.
Oops.
You can get with him within 35.
I'll get as close to the table as, so that the table's within 10 feet of me as I can.
All right.
And then I'm going to try to whip the table, possibly catch it, and just drag it away.
Okay. Yeah. Go for it. Make an attack roll on the table.
That's a quote.
Natural
What is this,
17
critical
on
roll?
the die plus 8 for 25 to grapple the table.
Yeah. I'd say you're able to kind of like you whip this tentacle thing out of your arm, and it pierces in with its stinger at the end, and you just rip the table, kind of grinds across the ground as it just kind of tumbles past you, and now is no longer providing a blockage from the light, and you see this thing reach up its arms in front of its face. It's not burning necessarily, look at hurt, but it does not like the light.
Mm-hmm.
Kale and Merrick, rather, as that happens and the table slides over towards Torque, you just hear him scream out and hiss, "You son of a bitch is not getting away!" And he'll, just be threatening towards it, just whipping his tail on the ground, just ready. Just come and get it. Come and get it.
All
Run
right.
soup.
So you lose sight of this creature for. Actually, I gotta roll it. Hold on a second. So you guys lose sight of this. Actually, no. It is going to move. It moves within 5 feet. About it moves 10 feet over, and you see it specifically gets right in line with Torque between it and Kale, to the point where it's in your shadow created by his light, and it looks at you like it's about to attack, but then vanishes quickly inside of the shadow.
Torque would have a pretty long shadow now that I think about it.
Yeah, he's 7 feet tall.
Mm-hmm.
That's your tail grew.
And the light's coming from like behind him rather than above. Uh-oh.
That's okay. If it attacks me, I got it.
It appears on the opposite side of Bali, in his shadow. It appears there, and then lets off that scream again as that blast of necrotic energy comes busting out of it, even piercing through the daylight itself. And I need everybody.
I'm pretty sure that's everyone.
3,
Yeah, it's
5,
everyone.
6, 7. Yeah, so everybody needs to make a dexterity saving throw.
Which is not my strong suit.
Torque, are you close to me? I can't see the mobs.
No, Torque is way far away from you. No one
Okay.
is within 10 feet of you, unfortunately.
19.
All right, just wanted to make sure.
19 makes it.
Oop, nope. I got 10.
11.
Fail.
I rolled a 4.
Finally, Shauna makes it. And Merrick makes it. Alright, so far we got Fail and Shioran. What was yours, Kale?
19.
19. What about you, Torque?
Torque has a 14.
14, so you fail. So Rhett, Shioran, and Torque all take this damage. Oh, I gotta roll for Bali too, quick. 1 second. He makes it with a 21.
Good for him.
Man, you guys getting lucky with this fucking thing. God damn. 2, 2, 1, 1, 7, 3.
It's all the light.
16 points of necrotic damage.
And I believe we're frightened, right? Terrified?
No.
Oh, that was another ability. Okay.
Yeah.
I am not looking great.
Which Merrick is no longer frightened, by the way. Gotta roll that up for the last turn.
Mm.
But it is kind of still in a vulnerable situation as it kind of strikes out again, trying to do as much damage as possible, but unfortunately doesn't do as much as it would like, with the light kind of keeping its shadow at bay. Merrick. Unfortunately, does not have any radiant spells.
Mm.
So
Best thing he can do is help others.
what I'm seeing if he can do, but unfortunately, he has built his character around pure damage. There is no beneficial spells whatsoever.
Well-
And no buffing spells whatsoever.
There's a help action as well, which would give bonus if possible.
He's got to be within range of it, and he does not want to get that close to it.
True.
So he is just going to stay back for the moment.
If you'll allow dodge action, is also a.
Yeah, he'll do that. And Shauna's just going to try to bulwark her brother and get ready to help in whatever way she can. Shioran. You can see this thing in the shadow of Bali at the moment.
All right. So, you said retribution doesn't look good.
Ignore me.
Ignore you.
Yeah.
This thing is
That's-
definitely taking the precedence of your attention at the moment.
Yeah, but at the
Yeah.
same time, I pretty much Shioran's at the that I'm not losing
Well,
any
you
more
know,
friends. but
retribution has.
How-
You don't.
how-
You don't got to explain your
Yeah.
reasoning. What are you gonna do?
How bad does this thing look? Or,
It's definitely looking rough. It's the wisps of its cloak look a lot less menacing, and it looks to be kind of shifting around its head. The blue glow is kind of shifting around, looking like it's trying to figure something out.
has
Shioran's one of the best ones who can damage it.
yeah, that's the conundrum Shioran's going
One of
to.
the only ones.
Has anyone used
Yeah.
an attack against it since I did my guiding bolt last?
Nope.
No, so I could get advantage on a guiding bolt.
Correct.
Hell yeah! So I'm going to use guiding bolt at 3rd level.
Do it up.
Cast that, and at advantage. Don't fail me now. That's a 17 plus 7, 24.
Definitely hits.
Alright, so guiding bolt at 3rd level is 66. Four, 5, 6. Those are a handful of dice.
Hi.
I rolled decent on that. 6 plus 5, 11 plus 4, 15, 17, 20, 23. Double check my math because I'm not good at math. 6 plus 4 is 10, 15, plus 6 is 21. No,
Yes.
that's 9, excuse me. 9 is 28.
What?
15.
Start
Either way.
over from the 10.
Yeah, I
Either
know.
way, doesn't
I'm not good at
Even
math.
if it's
I think you killed it.
10,
Maybe.
either way.
10 plus 9 is 19, and then 5 more is 24. 24.
24.
Okay.
Either way.
I had to
Um,
rearrange it for it to work in my brain.
How would you like to do this, Ian?
I want to blast straight through it.
So you reach back, you gather the light in your hand, you blast towards this thing. The arcane energy, the radiant energy just blasts forward, hits this thing in the chest, and it just explodes out the other side of it as you see this thing dissolving away from the chest up, and then the lower torso just falls to the ground, dissolves in the bright light that's shining from your radiant blast and also the light coming off the Kale. The creature screams out in pain, this one last horrific scream that echoes to the point where you actually see dust fall from the ceiling, and then it vanishes, and everything goes quiet. And everyone's kind of looking around until one of you looks over at the far end of the room, and you see a blue glow forming out of the wall, and then another, and another, and another, and another, to the point where you look around the room, and wherever there isn't light, in the shadows, you see these blue lights shifting around, coming out of the walls, these gnarled, knife-covered hands reaching out from below cloaks, as there are probably a good 20 to 30 of these things.
Everyone down the stairs!
Like, stairs, bro. Let's go.
Nope.
And everybody starts taking off, I'm guessing. Torque,
Yeah.
you're going to?
I'm dashing.
Torque is in his state. He's focused.
I'm gonna look at Torque right in the eyes and be like, let's go.
So you got command to follow? Because he's focused. He is primal
I can,
right now.
if I need to.
You'll need to.
Okay, I have command.
It's like Torque is right on the edge of this darkness, so a lot of the shadows are starting to push
I'll
in
cast
towards
command
it.
on him.
Can I, before you do that, Kieran casts message so that it goes straight into his head. Torque, come on, let's go!
Let's see.
Well, if that works, then I won't cast
Yeah.
command. But if it
Well,
doesn't,
there's-
then I'll cast it.
No way for you to know.
Well, I mean, if he starts walking.
There's no response to Shioran's
Okay,
message.
I'll cast command.
Okay.
Make a wisdom saving throw.
I thought I'd try.
Roll it,
I'd try.
please. Don't make me waste a spell slot.
Natural 6 plus 1 for a 7. I'm pretty sure
You
that's
failed.
a failure.
What is your one-word command, Rhett?
Cool. Let's see. Approach.
Stairs.
Okay. And so now you only take your one turn to do this. Do you continue after that, Tark? Just I wanted to verify.
Well, you see, because he has to use his turn to follow that command, that breaks his rage.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah.
So, yeah, immediately after advancing towards Rhett, his eyes unsolidify. He looks around, and you see the tremoring start once again. And he dashes towards Rhett.
And so everyone is just booking it towards the fountain as it finally finishes its little movement, and there's now a gap in there with a stairs that leads down to this spiral staircase. And Rhett, do you wait on top or do you go in first?
I would wait to make sure that Torque was coming.
Okay. So everyone gets in. Shioran would probably be the last one to get there.
Yeah, I would probably be
with
making
the
sure
speed.
anyways, because that's my thing.
Yep. So as Kale, are you going in or are you waiting for other people? Since you are the light that's at the moment holding these things back.
So I am going to. Okay, so let me see here.
Can we flavor like I'm firing bolts at? Actually, I have my tentacles. The thing. I'm firing bolts as I run, trying to keep them at bay.
All right.
It's radiant damage, by the way.
Well, let me see here. I'm looking at the spell. Give me a second here.
I don't think daylight is concentration.
It is not.
It is not. It is just a 1 hour duration.
Yeah.
And
So
it's all-
technically, I can just leave it there.
Is it?
Well, didn't you put it?
Okay, what did you cast it on?
Did you put it
I-
on yourself?
Oh, it's a point within range. That's
Oh,
what it is.
okay.
Mm.
Yeah. So I just casted it above myself, really.
Yep.
So yeah, it's. I'm just gonna leave it there. I'm gonna book it too.
You can choose an object, just from the reading of the spell. So what would you have done? Would you just put it above
On the
you, or do you-
fountain. On the fountain.
All right.
Yeah.
So yeah, you then book it down under the stairs. Everyone gets in. Shorty, the last one is you look around as these things are closing in, and they're not like stopped by the light, but they are kind of like riling around it as you're just looking at this dome of light coming from the fountain as these creatures are just looking around it and slowly starting to move their hands in and moving, and you can see underneath their hoods as these shark-like teeth and glowing blue eyes to each of them as they're looking in and start to move in towards you. You quickly just follow down. You guys are
Yeah, Kel
booking
would
it
have stayed
down the
behind
stairs.
for Fiorin.
You two are the last one down, and you guys start booking it down the stairs as Shauna comes and grabs your collar. Caleb's like, "Let's go!" and pulls you down, making sure you're following, and everyone follows down. You guys are boom, 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 boom. Quickly dipping into darkness with only the light of the torch and the lantern giving you guys knowing where you guys are going, and it's a tight spiral staircase. About a half a minute of dipping down this spiral staircase. The first one down would have been Merrick at this point, and he steps, and as he hits one of the stairs, you guys behind him see him stop. And you guys all kind of have to like pile up against each other. You're like, "What's happening?" He looks back at you as, "Don't move." And you all look down at his foot, and his foot has hit where the step is, and it has chipped, and there's a large crack that you sit for like a half a second before it goes up the staircase, and there is a loud as the stairs crumble underneath all of you as you all start falling down. You guys try to
grabs onto
grab
the
onto
wall.
these. You grab onto the wall. Others try to grab. It's just rubble and falling. Torque, you're able to stay where you're at, but unless anyone else has a climbing speed of any kind, you guys all start to tumble down into an empty space as the debris from the stairs hits the stairs below it and crumbles that, as it all seems to be weakened. This weakened kind of like wooden stairs as it tumbles down below into darkness. Torque, you see your friends tumble away from you, and you're not sure what happens to them. And as you guys kind of fall through the darkness, that's what we'll pick up next week.
Damn. Cliffhanger.
Quite literally.
Looks up towards the top of the stairs, looks down, up, down, starts climbing down.
All right.
Fumble through the dark.
That would be a good time for Featherfall,
Yeah.
if someone had it.
It would be.
This is cinematic falling, so I'm not going to hurt you guys for that sake.
Well, I have an idea of what I might be able to do, but
I'll,
I just see in my
I'm sure it's
head
going to take a
hitting the ground.
check.
Retribution just like
9
not
feet
doing
each
anything, not trying to grab onto anything, just like falling like a statue, just like,
Just like,
all right,
motherfucker.
time to
Oh
go.
god, we picked another one who doesn't care.
This is the end.
I kind of think it's going to be more like what's that? The first Hobbit movie, when they
Yeah, the Fall of the Goblin place, yeah.
All right. So,
well, that could have been worse.
Could have been worse. Yeah, we could have been attacked by all 30 of those guys and died instantly.
That was useful.
mhm.
Very
That was-
useful.
That was one. I took the shadow horror creature and I edited it a little bit.
Just a little.
Giving it
A little.
I mean, its AC and HP were the same, but I gave it immunity to all damage, magical or otherwise, unless it was radiant. But it is vulnerable to radiant damage.
hmm
So it was taking double damage from all of your hits. But I gave it the reaction that if it is hit with radiant damage, it has a reaction able to cast darkness on itself to kind of protect itself from that.
That was some
And then
pretty
it
cool
has-
mechanics. I like that.
Yeah, I liked it.
I
It
like
was
that.
cool.
Yeah.
So, fucking
Cool monster.
light cleric for the win.
Light cleric
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
druid, star druid actually. Circle of the Stars.
No.
That's literally the only reason I have guiding bolt. So,
Yeah.
Does anyone have an
My,
idea?
my domain is slept on.
Mm-hmm.
It's fantastic. It's one of my favorite ones. Though Twilight is going to be my favorite now. It's so fucking good.
Does anyone have any ideas for what to call this episode?
The Light in the Darkness.
I like that. I
Humble
actually
in the
like
dark.
that.
I like that too.
Yep.
All right. And oh, I got to do my outro stuff before I actually go for the raid stuff. All right. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed that, go ahead and give us that follow. And if you're watching this on YouTube, give us a like, comment, subscribe, ring that bell. You know, everything that YouTube and Twitch wants you to do to show support. I will be back. Do you know if Ian works Sunday?
It's up in the air right now.
Okay, so I can't say if we'll be back on Sunday to play some more Halo Sunday or not. Maybe we might be moving that as well. But I will definitely be back on Monday to continue playing Tales of Berseria, which I'm thinking we're getting close to end game. Not certain if we're in end game yet or not, but we're at least getting close. And with that ado, does anyone have any raids they want to do, or shall I go ahead and pick?
I don't have anyone.
Let's see. Twitch.
Oh, Colonel Cheru is playing Among Us. I'm sorry. I have to do it. Okay. So, who else do we have? I kind of want to raid Colonel Cheru and playing Among Us and watch that.
It's good to me.
All right.
Sure, is fun.
Yeah. I like her. She does a great job as Kerbo. Alright, so we'll go ahead and do that. Alright, slash raid. Insert. And the countdown has begun. Alright, everyone, have a good night, day, whatever time you're watching this, and we'll see you in the next stream. And raid now. Stop streaming.